Sit up straight. Press your fingertips down, lengthen up through your sideways side chest. Move your arm bones back to bring your shoulder blades into your back. Release your palms to your thighs, close your eyes. Descend your thighs. Distribute your weight evenly between your two sitting bones. Keep the sides of your chest long, lifted. Move your arm bones back to bring your shoulder blades into your back and lift your chest. Soften your neck and throat. Release your jaw. Rest your tongue into the base of your mouth. Take slow, even breaths. And then gently open your eyes. Come over to child's pose. Take your big toes together, your knees apart. Push your hips back toward your heels. Use your arms to get closer and closer to your heels. And then when you've gotten as close as you can to your heels, release your head down. Come up to your hands and knees. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips high, come up into Ardha Svanasana. Use the strength of your arms pressing forward, move your thighs back. At the same time as moving your thighs back, lengthen the back of your legs. So from the base of the heel to the sitting bones, lengthen there. At the same time, turn your upper arms out so that there's less tension in your neck. Press your chest back toward your thighs. And then move your thighs away from your chest. Relax your face. Bend your knees and come down. So, Urban Prasarna Konasana, also called 30, 60, 90. So you can choose to use support under your hips or not. You can take your arms by your sides or over your head. Then you're gonna lift your legs up and do some leg lifts. So if the hamstring flexibility will allow, have your legs straight. At a 90-degree angle from your hips. Roll your thighs inward so your knees face the same direction. Then with an exhalation, lower your legs halfway to the floor. Keep your abdomen pulled in. Keep your legs straight. Lower them halfway again. Relax your jaw. Lift them back up. See that many of you can see yourself in your camera or in your device. So see if your legs are actually at 90 degrees. If you're more flexible, they tend to move a little bit toward your head because it's easier. All right, again, lower your legs 45 degrees or halfway to the floor. Squeeze your legs together. Spread your toes, keep your quadriceps active. Lower them halfway again. So 22.5 degrees. And then 11.25. Back to 22, to 45, to 90. Take a breath. Lower your legs from 90 to 45, 45 to 22, to 45, to 22, to 11, to 22, to 45, to 11, to 90. Hug your knees in. Roll to your side. We're going to do downward facing dog again, but we're going to take a leg forward. I'm just showing for a second. And you see if you're looking, when I brought my leg forward, my hip moved out to the side. So I want to keep my hips straight back. We're going to take the elbows down to the floor. All right? You may have done this in the vinyasa class, something like that. All right, so come up into downward facing dog. And then take your right leg forward into a lunge. Lower your left knee to the floor. All right. So when you do that, the tendency is for the right hip to stick out. So bring the right hip back so that your hips are not shifting. The weight should be even on your back knee. Then, as much as you can, bring your elbows down to the floor. And again, your right hip will want to shift to the right. So pull your right knee in to move your hip in. Now, if your elbows won't reach the floor, you can raise the height of the floor or not come down on your elbows. All right, place your hands, tuck your back toes underneath, back to downward facing dog. Then bring your left leg forward, descend your right knee, pull your left hip in, and then move your elbows towards the floor. Keep the left hip moving towards the midline. Keep your left knee in line with your left ankle. All right, and then come back to downward facing dog. Bring your right leg forward on the outside of your right hand. Lower your left knee down. Squeeze your right hip in. Now you can keep your hands. So squeeze your right leg towards your right shoulder. Now tuck your left toes underneath and lift that foot up. Keep your hips low. Then spin on the back heel so that your heel is down. But keep your right hip low. Then take your left hand to your left hip and rotate your chest. This may be a little hard on some of your hips. Yeah, so you might need to straighten the leg a little bit, but if not, keep the right hip as low as possible. Oh, I had it so that none of you are facing the camera. That's okay. It's actually, I was going to say a better view, but a more descriptive view. Okay, take both hands to the floor, lift your back heel up. Come back into downward dog. Take your left foot forward, lower your right knee down. First, get both hands on the floor. Then, squeeze your left knee towards your left arm. So if your left knee and your left shoulder are to be in line, your hips have to be low enough. So if the hips come out, they're not in line. All right, then tuck your right toes underneath, spin the heel. So now that your right foot is down, keep your hips low, and then take your right hand to your hip and rotate your chest. Now you're facing me, there we go. And then bring both hands down, come back into a lunge, back into downward dog. All right, come down. We did this on Friday, we're gonna do it again. So you'll lie down, bring your right knee, just like you were, close to your right armpit, and pull it down. And then after that, you'll come on the inside. So I have to grab my right foot with my left hand and move it underneath like this. All right. So first, just pull the knee down with both arms like a happy baby. Yeah, and what you do with your left leg is up to you. But see how low you can get that right knee. It might reach the floor, it might not. Have the, for the beginning, you have the right ankle in line with the right knee. Yes. and pull it down. Okay. Now, hold your right foot with your left hand. Yes. Work your right arm underneath your right knee. Yes. Bring it as high up onto the shoulder as possible. Then clamp your right leg against your right arm. So you have to bend your knee, yes. But you no longer need to hold it with your left hand once you clamp it. All right, then lift your left leg straight in the air. And do a little sit-up. You can take your left hand up too. And come back down. Switch to the other side. So first, take your left knee down with both hands. So the knee is going towards the floor. Then hold on to your left foot with your right hand. Keep it where it is, but you have to scooch your left shoulder underneath your left knee. And the closer you get it to the ground, the more complete you'll get this. All right, now clamp down on your left shoulder with your left leg. So it's going to stick from the clamping down of the left foot, left leg. Then lift the right leg straight in the air. And do a sit-up to look at your right knee. Lower back down. Release both legs. Okay, now we're going to do both legs at the same time. So hold it outsides of both feet like a happy baby. And pull your knees down to the floor. Now you'll have one side, one hip that's tighter than the other. So you want to put that one in first. Because you have to let go of one foot to get the other shoulder in. And then somehow you have to get both shoulders in. And then when both shoulders are in, clamp your legs and extend your arms and do a sit-up. Try to bring your feet closer to each other. You might even be able to cross them at the toes. All right, change sides if you cross the toes, but otherwise just go up. Okay, release down. So that was fun. Okay, we're gonna go back to that standing pose. And again, I want you to watch just for a second. So, So I'm here in that lunge we were in before. This time I'm going to take my right arm underneath my right leg, like this. And I'm going to stay in the lunge, all right? But I'm going to lift my right leg. So in order to lift your right leg, there has to be, well, there doesn't have to be. I've seen people do it with straight arms. Stage one is to have a bent arm. Let's see. Okay, so my elbow is bent like chaturanga. And I lift the right leg up. Okay, let's try that. So, downward facing dog. Bring your right leg forward. Lower your left knee down. Now, just like you were doing upside down, get your right shoulder underneath your right knee. And then level your hips. Now you may need to, in order for your right foot to have lift off, you may need to scoot your toes forward. And then you can lift the right leg up. There we go. It may not lift up for very long, but see if you can get it as straight as possible. Okay. Now, there we go. Now come back to downward facing dog. Take your left leg forward and then kneel down. Scooch underneath your left leg. And then ooch, these are all very technical terms. Ooch your left toes forward, that will help, the angle will help to lift the left leg up. There it goes. Okay, come back down. Downward facing dog. Right leg forward. Take your right shoulder underneath your right knee. Scoot your toes a little bit forward. Bend both elbows like you're doing chaturanga. So Julie, your elbow should be pointing back more, a little bit back more. There we go, yeah. Julia, sorry. All right, and then tuck your back toes underneath, lift that back leg. Yes. All right, now try to lift the front leg up. All right, come down. You want to see the pose? Yeah. Let me lower the camera just a bit. This is called the Ekapada Vinyasa. I can't remember if it's 1 or 2. I think it's 2. So the full pose, and we're just doing a little bit of it to get ready for a different pose. You have to come forward in chaturanga and lift both legs up. So, I can't talk during that one. If you want to try to lift the back leg up, one of the things you have to do is go forward. This is true in a lot of arm balances. So if you stay too far back, when you come into this pose, there's nothing lifting that leg up. So I come into chaturanga. Not as good on that side. To lift that back leg up. Let's try the other side. You can lift both legs, one leg, no legs. Try it out. All right. So bring the left leg forward. Get your left arm underneath your left knee. Tuck your back toes under. So think chaturanga arms. It helps to lift the foot or move it forward a little bit. And then both arms have to be chaturanga arms. Yeah. Then lean forward and see what happens. Look forward, Sopo. Yeah. Okay. It may or may not work. I remember when I first learned that pose, I was so excited. Okay. That's not our goal pose today. Our goal pose is Dvihasta Vajrasana. So we're going to come into it a gentler way. So if you have a chair, get a chair. Everyone has a chair, right? It doesn't have to be a yoga chair. And sit down in the chair. Sit towards the front edge of the chair. Knees a little wider than hip width. Then lean forward and get your shoulders as close to your knees as possible. And you can reach back and grab the legs of the chair. Yes. Knees a little closer together, Chad. Yes. All right, look slightly forward. You don't have to, strain your neck, but don't look down toward the chair. All right, now squeeze your knees into your arms. All right, see if you can lift one leg up. Yes, Suzette, that will work too. Yeah, you might have to scoot them forward. There they go. You have to be sitting on the edge of the chair. If you're sitting too far back, it won't work. Then try the other leg. Okay. Okay, come up. Now, if you have a couple of blocks, put the blocks down and first get underneath. Look forward, put the leg up, the leg up. So it might be like you're too far back like this and you can't lift the legs up. So move your hands forward, either with blocks or without blocks. I find it easier with because you can bend the elbows better. And then scoot the leg forward, lift it up, reach it forward, lift it up. Try it. So this is a good way to practice if you have wrist pain or you want a little more success in arm balances. Sometimes you lower the blocks, Sopo. I think your arms are long enough. You don't need them tall. Are they lowest? Oh, okay, the angle. Okay, any success? Yes? All right. Oh, well. Okay, well, let's try it without the chair. You can keep the chair. You don't have to keep the chair. So I'm gonna, I'd like to use blocks for the first time when I do this. So I'll just show, let me see. I will show from this side. So I have my knees slightly wider than my shoulders. I take my blocks behind my legs. And remember meeting on both shoulders. All right, and then I'm gonna clamp down like this. And this could be as far as you go. But I walk my feet forward, and this could be as far as you go. Or I could lift my feet off the floor. They are off the floor. All right. Or not. So put your blocks behind your legs. Have them probably shoulder width apart, not together. And then squat down. And remember, happy baby. Try to get your arms underneath your knees. If you need to take your blocks wider. That will help. Wider arms, narrower legs. Yeah, there we go, Suzette. Yeah, you might fall backwards, but there's padding back there, so it's okay. Look forward a little bit, and then walk your feet towards each other. Yeah, if it won't work, take your arms wider apart. And try to lift one leg or both legs. There we go. Squeeze them together. Squeeze your legs into your arms. So Kathy, I think I know what's one of the things that's going on. So your arms look a little like this. And try to take them like this. Yes. Yeah. And you may not come up and it may be too hard on your wrist. Or it could be enough. The problem with arm balances is everyone kind of does it at their own time. So I never know like when people are done. Unless they just stare at the camera for a while. There we go. Okay. So I find that pose harder than Bhujapadasana, which is the next one on the list. And that one starts out the same way. Except the feet cross like this. And once the feet cross, you don't have to use your inner thigh muscle as much. And you can just kind of hang out here. Yay! See, I can't do Lalasana, but I've been able to do this one forever. You want to try that? It's easier. I think it's easier. You can have blocks. You can do it upside down if your wrist has had enough. Do it like this. This one's a little easier to change across. Yeah. There you go. So cross at the ankle or at the front of the foot, top of the foot. Yeah. No matter what you're doing, it'll make you stronger. And then technically you're supposed to cross in midair, switch sides in midair, but you know, whatever works. All right, is that enough arm balances for the day? Okay, there's a lot of arm balances. Stand up. behind your back, roll your shoulders back, extend your arms. And one of the things with arm balances is, and actually one of the reasons I think they're taught last, is that there's a lot of this kind of shrugging motion. Change the interlock of your fingers, roll your shoulders back, lift your arms. So you have to counteract that with a little back bend. Release your arms. Stand with your feet together. Tadasana. Turn your right leg out. Lift your right leg up. Bring it up as high as it will go. Tuck the outer left hip in. Lift your arms up. You can use a wall or that chair for balance. So as you move your right knee back behind you, you may feel that activates your right buttock. So at the same time, you have to activate your left outer hip to keep yourself from sloshing. Lower your arms, lower your right leg. Turn your left leg out. Lift your left leg up. Find your balance here. And go ahead and work your hips here. So take your left leg, on a squishy mat, to the wall behind you. Suck your outer left right hip in. Lift your arms up. Keep your hips working. Then release your arms, release your foot. Okay, I'm gonna, well, I don't know if I should save this. Yeah, I'll save this for Friday. So on Friday, we'll have some blocks and we'll do some balance stuff. All right. Let's see. We did a lot of arm balances, so I'm going to skip handstand today. So for Sarva Parijjanasana, we'll do this instead of headstand. We'll just skip most of the inversions today. Take your elbows back, lift your chest. Exhale, fold forward. Bring your hands to the floor, look forward. Bring your head down to the floor. Lift your inner thighs up. Lift the backs of your legs up. If your head is close to the floor, move your hands in line with your heels. Relax your neck. Inhale, extend your chest forward. Place your hands on your hips, come all the way back up. Step your feet together. All right. Make sure you have enough padding under your feet for this next one. I don't have any padding. So anyway, but we're gonna take our hands underneath our feet like this. All right. So if you need to bend your knees for that, that's fine. So I should have done this after the arm balances, but you know, it'll work. All right. So you're gonna lift your foot up and you're gonna stand on your hands. This will be our handstand today. Like this. So Adhastasana and foot pose. And if you can, really stand on your hands. Like have a lot of weight on the base of your thumb. Now, I know that not all wrists will allow this, but for me, it kind of feels like, you know, orange juice on a sore throat. It hurts, but feels good at the same time. And this also will stretch your hands the other way from doing all those arm balances. All right, release your hands. And then lie down on your belly. I should start timing these. All right, so roll your thighs inward. There you go. All right, take your hands by your hips. Move your shoulder blades towards each other. Lift your legs, lift your chest, lift your arms. Namaste. Come on. Extend through your fingers, extend through your toes. Lift the backs of your legs as much as possible, right where they meet the buttocks. Lift that part of the legs, lift the thighs up. As you lift the thighs up, descend your feet. So your legs remain straight, strong. Relax your chest, relax your chest, relax your jaw, lift your chest, lift your legs one more time, and then come down. Take your arms out to the sides in a T. If you don't have the floor space, you can take them out to the sides in a goalpost. So your elbows are bent. It's a little bit harder, but not by much. Okay, so again, engage your quadriceps, lift your legs, lift your chest, lift your arms. Move your shoulder blades toward each other. Look slightly forward, lift your inner thighs up, extend through your toes. Lift up as high as you can, and then come back down. Take your arms forward. If you're starting to feel any kind of back pain, bring your hands by your sides again. Lift your quadriceps up. Keep your legs strong, so active. And then from the active quadriceps, lift up, lift your arms up, lift your chest up. Extend through your fingers, extend through your toes. So it's nice to lift up high, but it's not required. It's not going to give you a better, it's not going to give you more strength by lifting up higher. It has more to do with flexibility, a little bit to do with strength again. And then come back up. Push back into child's pose. All right. Now come back to prone again for cobra. So it's very similar to the pose we just did. The only difference is you get to use your hands to lift yourself up, and the legs don't lift up, I guess. But the action of the back is the same. So engage your quadriceps. If your wrist hurt from all the arm balances, make a fist and put that into the floor. So I will show that version. Then roll your shoulders back, bring your shoulder blades towards each other, press your feet into the ground, keep your quadriceps engaged, and curl up. Curl up more. So your hips have to stay on the floor, but the rest of you can lift up. Then come back down. All right. Tuck your toes under. Lift your legs away from the floor. Keep that. Coil up. Then press your hands down. I don't know if I can do this with fists. And come up into Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. This is very hard with fists. Marsha, I'm very impressed. You can do this with your fist. And then come back down. Come up onto your elbows. Bend your right leg. Reach back with your right hand and grab your right foot on the inside. Press your right foot down. And this is a solo action. I'm not really, I'm trying to think of how my body does this, but I'm pushing my hip into the floor. So my right hip is pushing into the floor, and I think it's coming somewhere from the glute muscles. But I can't really, I can feel myself doing it, but I have to think more of what I'm exactly doing. Try to keep the foot where it is and take your right arm back. You can kind of just see where the foot is. If you look at, if you have yourself on the camera, although that can be distracting. And then release that foot down. Bend your left leg, reach back, grab your left foot, press it towards your left hip, and then push your left hip into the floor. It's hamstring. It's almost like I'm trying to tuck my tailbone under, but only on one side. I think the other side's working a little bit too, but I'm only trying to do it on one side. Then keep the foot there as much as possible as you release the arm and lower it down. Bend both legs. Get them as close to your buttocks as possible. Now push both hips into the floor. Keep both hips pressed. Yes, that's where we're going. Okay. Press both hips into the floor. Keep them there. Reach back. Grab your feet. Notice if your hips want to come up off the floor. Don't let them. Push your hips down into the floor. Then think Samavasana. Lift your chest, lift your legs, come up. Then press into your arms, lift your chest more. Use your triceps to lift your legs more. And come down. All right, now I'm gonna do one of my all-time favorite poses, which is Parshva Dhanurasana. I'll even do it on a tile floor. So we come up into Dhanurasana, and then I'm gonna tilt my head to the side and come over to the side. Now, if you're really low in your Dhanurasana, it's hard to get over. So what you do is you release an arm and you push yourself over. All right? And then once you're there, you're gonna kick into the top leg. So you get a better shoulder stretch. All right? So bend both knees, grab your ankles. Lift up, Dhanurasana. Tilt your head to the right. Push down, turn over. Yeah. All right, then once you're over onto your right shoulder, kick into your left foot or kick your left foot to stretch your left shoulder. You went a little far, Bob. Then come back to the center and the other side and kick your right leg back to stretch your right shoulder. Yeah, keep your head lifted, Kathy, that's correct. All right, and then come back to the center. Ah, sure, first side again. Stretch. Stretch your shoulders. Back to the center. Left side. Yeah. Stretch. And back to the center. Lift up one more time. And release down. Okay. Lie on your back. Bring your heels in close to your hips. Hold on to the sides of the mat. Press your upper arms down. Roll your shoulders under. Lift your hips. Roll your shoulders under again. And lift your hips higher. Padasana. Four-footed pose, or sometimes called fist bridge. So press your upper arms down. You get more lift in the chest. The more you press your upper arms down, the more you press your heels down, the more lift you get in the hips. Lift your hips up higher. Julia, move your knees a little closer together or your feet a little further apart. I can't tell which one it is. Yeah, that's better. There we go, Shia. A little higher. Yeah. All right, calm down. So the normal choice today is Padasana with a brick. Or a shoulder stand. Whatever your setup, make it neat. Yes. Okay. Now you can just give me a thumbs up, Marcia, but are you using like a folded sticky mat or a blanket? Okay. Folded sticky mat? Blanket? Okay. Yeah. We got some chair shoulder stands. At least one regular. Two regular shoulder stands. Those in shoulder stand, move your hips forward, ankles back. That's correct, Bob. Doug, turn your feet a little bit in, especially your left. Yeah, there we go. Julia, turn your also left foot in. Yes. Oh, Soko, you're using blankets. That's great. A couple blankets there, yeah. Again, hips forward. So that setup's okay on your neck, Marcia. Okay. Oh, yeah, I guess I would. There's no way to nod or give me a thumbs up or anything. Yeah, there we go. Okay, good. All right. I think I got a good look at everybody. Okay, if you're on a brick, lift your hips, lower the brick to the lowest level. Be on that for a few breaths before lowering it all the way to the floor. If you're in shoulder stand, work your way down. Oh, it's busy looking at you guys. I didn't get my shoulder stand set up. That's all right. That's what I'm supposed to do. All right, bend your knees, roll to your side. Sit up. Sit in Dandasana. Now, I have some height under my hips for the Marichiasanas, 1 and 3. If you can bend your knee up like this without falling backwards, you don't need any height. So bend your left knee. Oh, yeah. This is my opposite left. Okay. There we go. Hold on to the knee, lift yourself up. Oh, if you're sitting on height, you'll need a block behind you. Now take your left arm, and remember the knee-shoulder connection. So you want to get your knee and your shoulder close to each other. So you're going to press your left arm against your left, yes, left arm against your left knee, and then turn to your right. And when I'm this far down, I can't reach that block either way. So I'm just going to put my hand on my back. But if you can put your hand on the block, or even better yet, a wall, you'll get more twist. So you're turning towards your straight leg. And keep that arm and knee pressing into each other. This is Marichasana 1, twist only. Come back to the front. Straighten your left leg, bend your right leg. First lift up. And then work your body onto the inside of the leg. Press your knee into your arm into your knee, and turn to the left. Return to the front. Keep this leg bent for Marichasana 1, and then turn to your right. So hold on to the knee, turn, and then see if you can get that armpit and the knee close to each other. This is not one of my better poses, but it's probably because I don't work on it. All right, but get as close to your knee as possible. And then press your arm into your knee. If you're not even anywhere close, you can hold on to the outside. And turn. So the knee has to press into the arm enough that it's not moving over to the side. And the arm has to press into the knee enough to help you turn. And then you can experiment. So in Ladon Yoga, there's pictures of him looking forward towards his straight leg, and pictures of him looking away from his leg. So try both of those. Then return to the front. Straighten your right leg, bend your left leg. Lift up, and then work your way around the knee. So I actually push my leg to the opposite side so I can get my armpit fairly close. Not as close as I would like. All right, and then I press my knee into my arm to turn. And then I press my arm into my knee to turn. And I still have some space between my armpit and my knee. So I know that if I have space between my armpit and my knee, no matter how much I try to bind, I probably won't. So I just focus on the turn. Come back to the front. All right, Marichasana 1 again, but this time we're gonna go a little deeper. So to go deeper, I reach forward and grab my opposite foot and come in. I pull myself further and further in, and then squeeze my knee into my arm. Take, this will be your left hand forward, press it against the knee, and when you can't move anymore, turn the thumb down and then the palm up. So now it looks like somebody else's arm. Bend the elbow. Now you got it wrapped around your leg. Like this. I can't do this without height. Good. And then I take the opposite arm forward, your right, and reach back and see if I can grab the hand. Now, frequently this is taught doing the twist first and then bending forward. I don't find that helpful. So what I want you to do is just to try to bend forward. And again, Mrichasana 1 is just like Mrichasana 3, meaning that if you have a gap between your leg and your arm, you're probably not going to be able to bind. So you can just come forward, just holding your leg. Yeah. Come back up, release your arms, come back up. Straighten your left leg, bend your right leg. Okay, I'll show this kind of from the side. All right, so first I have to get in as much as possible. So I'm reaching, I'm getting low. The lower you can get, this is harder. This is supposed to be easier. I've never found it easier. But anyway, closer to the leg. Then you try to get down low. Get their contact, arm out, push against the leg, thumb down, palm up, bend the elbow. And same on the other thumb down, palm up. See if you can find your opposite hand, and then you bend forward. Squeeze your knee into your arm. Don't let the knee go out to the side. It makes it harder to bind. Easier to bend forward, harder to bind. All right, inhale, lift up. Straighten both legs. Right now. Lift your chest, press your thighs down. Lift your arms up. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold forward. Grab your legs somewhere. Pull yourself forward. Paschimottanasana, stitch to the western side. Press your thighs down. Make your side ribs longer and longer. So use your arms to pull your chest forward toward your feet rather than down toward your legs. Push your thighs into the floor. Inhale, come back up. So you're gonna lie on your back with your feet sticking out distance apart. And about a foot forward of your hips, like this. And you can take your knees to the right. And take the right leg and place it on the left thigh to move it further down. Put your right foot back down, lift your knees back up, go to the other side. And then the option is to take your left foot on top of your right knee, pull it down. Come back to the center. Hug your knees in. Release into the floor. Stretch your legs out. Roll your shoulders under. Press the weight of your body into the floor. Relax into the floor. Soften your neck and throat. Release your jaw. Rest your tongue into the base of your mouth. And use the next few moments to focus on your breath. Deepen your breath. Bend your knees. Support your head as you roll to your side. Roll a little further to your side and lift yourself back up to seated. Take your arms wide, lift your chest. Bring your palms together in front of your heart. Think of something you're grateful for. Namaste. Thank you all. I hope you had fun.